So today we're going to learn about Sarah, but she's not any old Sarah. This is Super Sarah. Now, Super Sarah is a superhero, and let's look and learn about the life of Super Sarah. And let's look at her usual day. Last week we studied present simple, and we use present simple when we... Hey, Kanako Kojima! Sorry to interrupt the lesson, everybody. It's just nice to see somebody into the chat and say something. It's great to see you again. So, yes, sorry to interrupt. My wife will tell me off for doing that after the lesson, but it's just so nice to see somebody responding to the chat. All right, so today we're going to learn about Super Sarah. And let's look at her usual day. So, Sarah's usual routine. At 7 o'clock, she wakes up. 7:15 a.m, she takes a shower. 7:30 a.m, she eats breakfast. 7:50 a.m, she leaves the house. Sorry, I just drank loads of water before this lesson. And 8 a.m, she starts helping people. It's her job. She's Super Sarah. She helps people, but not just people. She also helps animals as well. Cats, dogs, you name it, she can help. Okay, so that is Sarah's usual routine. And there we use present simple, V1 of the verb. But let's take a look at yesterday. Now, yesterday was a usual day for Sarah. So, we say 7 a.m, she woke up. Yesterday at 7:50 a.m, she took a shower. Yesterday at 7:30 a.m, she ate breakfast. Yesterday at 7:50 a.m, she left the house. And 8 a.m, she started helping people. So we have woke, took, ate, left, and started. Let's compare them. We have present simple. So when we talk about usually, every day, often, always, wake, take, eat, leave, and start. Now, when I spoke about yesterday, and I said that yesterday was a usual routine for Sarah, we used V2 of the verb. Woke, took, ate, left, and started. So those are V2s of the verb. We have V1 for when we talk about, when we use present simple, something that happens often, always, sometimes, every day. And we have past simple. And one thing I did forget to say, I forgot to say at the start of the lesson, if you want to take a screenshot or a photo of any of the slides, please do it so you can look at them in your own time. Or you can message me after if you don't get to do a screenshot, that's totally fine. Okay, so let's take a look at some past simple time phrases. Firstly, we have the structures on the left. Please take a screenshot of that. It's very useful, the ones that are right above here. So we have past simple positive. It's subject plus V2. We have past simple negative, subject plus didn't plus V1. And then past simple, I've made a mistake, I've left present simple on there. It's not, I'm really sorry about that. So yeah, past simple question is did plus subject plus V1. So if you do write that down, make sure you put past simple, it's not present simple. Sorry, obviously 4 days at a music festival has ruined my ability to notice mistakes. Anyway, so we have the time phrases. Yesterday, last week, last month, last year, a few days ago, an hour ago, when I was a child, in my previous job, during my vacation, in high school. These are all past simple time phrases. Unless you're still in high school. Obviously, you just use present simple. But, you know, I'm 34 now and high school was, a few years ago. So let's just I can say, yesterday I went to the cinema. Last year, I visited Paris. When I was a child, I played football every Saturday. So there we can see, I've just taken a couple of the time phrases and made some example sentences for you. These are the timelines. Again, we have the structures. Sorry about the mistake on question. It should be past simple, not present simple. We have the timelines. So we can use past simple for an event or action that happened and finished in the past. Yesterday, I went to the cinema. That's our top timeline there. Then timeline 2 we can use past simple to connect multiple past events or actions together. So I can say, yesterday I got home, I cooked dinner, I watched a movie, and then I went to bed. So I am connecting multiple past simple events together. So like always, please take a screenshot of those timelines, and like always, message me on Instagram if you miss any of the screenshots, and I will do it for you. Okay, let's go on. Let's do a fill in the blank exercise. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I just want you to fill in the blanks with past simple. Now I will do number 1, and I'll put number 1 into the chat, and I will say, I can see go, and I know V2 of go is went. So I went to the park yesterday. Okay, I've helped you guys out and I've given you the answer for number 1. Just have a look at 2, 3, 4, and 5. And like I always say, if you're trying to think while I'm talking, I talk just because it makes the video more interesting and people come to the video. If you want to do the exercise, just mute me. I know people love listening to my voice, but sometimes it's a bit too much. So yes, I did number 1. I went to the park yesterday. Then number 2, we have Sarah a cake for her birthday last week. Number 3, they a movie at the cinema last night. Number 4, we a great vacation last summer. And number 5, he his homework after school yesterday. Okay, I think that's enough time. I'm going to go to the answers now. Let's have a look at the answers. So, yes, I went to the park yesterday. Kanako Kojima, oh yes, good stuff. Number 2, Sarah baked a cake for her birthday last week. Nice, congratulations. Number 3, they watched a movie at the cinema last night. And number 4, we had a great vacation last summer. And number 5, he finished his work after school yesterday. So good stuff if you managed to get a few of them correct. So let's just do a quick recap. So we looked at how we can compare present simple and past simple. Then we looked at the time phrases. We have last week, 2 years ago, yesterday, yesterday morning, 2009, when I was in high school, during my last job. Then we had a look at the timelines, so we can use it for a past completed event or action. And also we can use it to connect multiple past completed actions or events together. Last night, I cooked dinner, I watched a movie, and then I went to bed. Okay, good stuff. Let me know in the comments how many you got out of 5 there. Let's go on. And of course, it's everybody's favorite part of the lesson. Last week, actually, we had a quiz. This week, we've gone back to the story time, but I think people really liked the quiz. So next week, we will do another quiz. Not on geography this time, no, that's what we did last time. We'll do it on something different. Because it's story time, as usual, which you'll be surprised, I'm going to read a story. Okay. There was a boy named Tom. He wanted to buy a toy from the store. One sunny day, Tom went to the store. He had money to buy the toy because his parents had given it to him. While walking to the shop, Tom realized something was wrong. He couldn't find his money. He looked in his pockets and bag, but couldn't find it. He felt really, really sad. Tom decided to go back and look for his money. Like this. Suddenly, he saw something on the ground, and it was shining. It was his money. He was so happy again. With his money, Tom went back to the shop and bought the toy he wanted, a Lego car. He learned an important lesson that day, to be careful with things that were his. And of course, he was happy to find his money again. Okay, now let's have a look, and I have some questions for you. Okay, so on the screen, we can see the story. Now, I have some true or false questions, and you can just write in the chat number 1, true or false, number 2, true or false, number 3, true or false, like that. Now, Tom had the money because he had a job. Did he have a job? This little boy called Tom? I'm not sure. Is it true or false? Did Tom have the money because he had a job? Did he earn that money? Did he go to his office job and get paid for it? Did he get paid a salary? Okay. Tom had the money because his grandparents gave it to him. Did his grandparents give him the money? Someone stole his money. Did someone steal his money? Did they sneak up behind him and take it out of his pocket? Bad people don't steal. The last one, Tom brought a real car. Did he buy a real car from a toy shop? Is that possible? So yeah, if you know any of the answers, put the answers in the chat. Just put 1, true or false, 2, true or false, 3, true or false, 4, true or false. Okay, so Tom had the money because he had a job. No, it's false. Tom did not have a job. He was only a little boy. I mean, sometimes you, in your teenage years, you may have a job, but Tom didn't have one. Tom had the money because his grandparents gave it to him. Did his grandparents give him the money? It's possible, but it's false. It was not his grandparents that gave him the money. It was his parents. Yes, his parents. It says he had money to buy the toy because his parents had given it to him. Number 3. Someone stole his money. Did a bad person steal his money? Did a bad person come and take the money out of his pocket, and that's why he had to go back to find the money? It's false. Of course not. Someone didn't steal his money. Here it doesn't actually say, but it had fallen out of his pocket. He was walking along the road, and sadly the money had just fallen out and landed on the floor. So the answers are false, false, false. And did Tom buy a real car in a toy shop? No, of course not. He didn't buy a real toy car. A real toy car? He did buy a real toy car. He didn't buy a real car. And he's only a boy. I would say he's about 10 or 12. And I don't think he's old enough to drive a car. Maybe in some places, but I'm not sure about the legalities of that. Okay, so that is the end of our story time. Let me know if you do have any questions. Remember, you can take screenshots, take notes. It's okay. If you missed any of them, you can just message me afterwards on Instagram. Let's go for the word of the day. So I decided to choose this word. Why? Because today I feel absolutely exhausted. Exhausted is an adjective, and it means very tired. Example, I was exhausted after a long day at work. So this is our word of the day, exhausted. It's an adjective, and I chose it because today I'm feeling exhausted. It means very tired. I was exhausted after a long day at work. Now, I'm sure exhausted is something that you have felt many times in your life. This is a word that we use a lot. It's a really, really common word. So add that to your vocabulary. Let's see if we can identify it. Which person is exhausted? So into the chat, write which person is exhausted. Which person is exhausted? Is it A or is it B? Which person is exhausted? Which person feels like a bit like I feel today? To be honest, I don't feel as bad as one of these people. One of these people looks really exhausted. So yeah, just put your answer into the chat. Hey Kel, hey Kanako. A, yes, correct. The person in picture A is exhausted. They look very tired. So yeah, like I said, exhausted is a very, very common word that we use. Add this to your vocabulary and make sure you use it. It's a really, really good one. And remember, you can help yourself to remember vocabulary by playing free associations. So if I was doing free associations for exhausted, I would say hard work, bed, and tired, like that. So that's a really, really good way to help you remember the vocabulary if you do free associations. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Let's just do a quick recap. So, as always, let me know if there's any questions. I'm still not sure why I'm wearing a police hat in that picture. That was my previous career. Not really, it wasn't my previous career. I've never been a policeman. So yeah, quick recap. We had our warm-up, free associations. Really, really good for remembering vocabulary and getting warmed up. In my private lessons, in my group lessons, which are a lot more interactive, I guess, and useful in a way, because it's a lot easier when you're having that direct conversation, we do a lot of free associations, and I do it fast, like time people. It's really good. Then we looked at past simple. We looked at Super Sarah and her life, what her usual day looks like, and then what her day yesterday looked like. So we looked at past simple, we had the structures, we had the timelines, and we had the time phrases. Always look for those time phrases and they will help you out. Okay, if no one's got any questions, I think let's finish. I'm sorry that it was a little bit shorter today. I spent the last 4 or 5 days at a music festival. I'm super tired. It was amazing, but I'm just going to relax for the rest of the day. If anyone does have any questions, if you remember after the lesson that you wanted to ask something, just message me on Instagram. And obviously I will be doing the same next Monday at 2 o'clock. Okay, I think let's finish. Thank you very much to everybody who came. This is the 4th one, so we've only been doing these lessons for a month now. It would be great to get your feedback. Message me, tell me what you like and what you don't like about the lessons. It's the first time I've been doing lessons on YouTube, so I'm trying to make them better and better, and as time goes on, they will get better and better. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to go now because I'm absolutely exhausted, but have a lovely week, and I'll see you next Monday. All right, see you later.